why can't you just be more adaptable like I am? Why can't you just meet me the way I so easily meet you? The visual that's almost coming to mind is like melting into a liquid that would just fill all the gaps, and just making sure that every gap was filled, and I could mold and shape myself however needed in order to fill every gap. But then I was left with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, the South is a very interesting place because it's a combination of this preserving peace and moving towards, which moving towards, traditionally it would fit into the camp of what we call the anxious attachment. I don't really like utilizing that language. I don't like labeling people in that way. But what we're saying here is that this person has a tendency to say, something's not working here. We need to solve this. We need to work on this. And it seems like the most obvious strategy. If something's not working, we need to work on it. Let's keep working on it until it's fixed. Simultaneously, they have this idea of preserving the peace, which is, as opposed to holding authority, when the dignity is challenged, the holding authority will say, no, this is why. This is the reason why. The preserving the peace will go, well, I will find my dignity. I will find my sense of value in bringing us back together. I'll show you that I'm valuable. I'll show you that I'm worthy because I can sculpt this thing. I can maneuver this relationship back together, and that's how I'll show you my value, that I am worthwhile in this relationship. So there's a double sense of moving towards and have to fix it. I have to solve this problem. And I know you've talked about this before, like when there's a rupture in the relationship, what's your experience of that?
Yeah, my experience, and it has calmed dramatically. But in my most stressed version of me, it's a sense of panic. It's severe distress. Like I can't concentrate on anything else. Sort of level of emotional dysregulation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one might think that it's just, that sounds like an abandonment wound. I'm afraid that they're going to leave me, so this is the way that anyone in that circumstance would respond. But the important thing that I want to get across to people is that regardless, we may have two people with the exact same circumstances, grew up in the same home, had the same experiences, yet they metabolized that differently and created a different strategy that would work for them to keep them safe. So I want to be really clear that it's not just, hey, this person had this wound, they were abandoned, and therefore anytime somebody starts to pull away, they go, oh my God, I got to pull them closer, right? It's just what has worked for them in their family system, in their world. This strategy has worked. So can you tell us a little bit about how that strategy had worked for you?
Yeah, it was the overachiever, the person who would maintain the peace and had the skills to bring peace back if it did get disrupted, so that there was more of an even keel. There was safety, there was certainty in that. Even if it wasn't necessarily about me being abandoned in a particular moment or situation, it was about, I feel safer when I can feel certain that things feel peaceful around me, because there's a lot of chaos going on. I didn't have the words to put this at the time, but there's a lot of chaos I have going on internally. So I have to do everything I can to make sure that my more external environment feels as certain and as peaceful as possible, so that I can calm and regulate myself. There's a lot of dysregulation, I think, with some of the South. The other thing is also the needing to feel appreciated. So it's not just sourcing my value from, or whoever is fitting into this. It's not just sourcing value from feeling needed. It's also, I also need you to appreciate me for how much I do for you
Yeah.
and how much I do for us.
Absolutely. Right.
And this idea of feeling needed has really, and this doesn't really come up anymore, but the earlier parts of our relationship when I was much more so locked into the South, you would point out to me all the ways in which I was doing things for you, for us, to feel needed. And they were things that you didn't necessarily need or even want me to do. And you were pointing to the fact that I actually needed that more than you did. I thought I was like giving you a gift by, doing this thing for you. It could be like a task around the house or whatever. But not only did you not really feel like you actually needed that, you felt the energetic of me pulling on you because I was doing the thing not from a place of security, but from deep insecurity.
You ever wonder why you chose this partner and why they trigger you like no one else?
It's because on some level, we don't choose partners at random. We choose people who reflect the parts of ourselves that most need healing.
That's not a mistake, it's an invitation.
The Relational Compass helps you understand those patterns so you can respond instead of react. And finally, start moving toward connection again.
Take the free assessment at lipcouples.com/compass. Link in the notes below, and find your true north and love.